So we're talking about building on prior commitments, ethically, and how do we do it, right? And what's the goal of this?
I feel
So,
coming.
so the first thing we have to do is confirm it, then we have to clarify it, and then we have to connect it. But Taylor, tell me why you think we need to know how to do this. Why is this even applicable? WIIFM, Taylor, what's in it for me should be the question you ask. And as a salesperson who sells real estate, why should you need to confirm, clarify, and connect? What is the goal of the training? Taylor?
I think it's to also connect with them and show them that you care, and also they're not gonna care if they don't think there's something in it for them.
Okay, all right, so number one, we're communicating that we are clearly aligned with their goals, right? First and foremost, that's the whole idea, to make sure that we're in alignment, okay? What else? From a deal standpoint, from an agent standpoint, what are we trying to prevent from happening?
All the hard work that you put in through the relationship and transaction, so you get them to commit to it.
So the goal is to get them to do what? You just said it.
Yeah, commit.
To commit. What happens sometimes in a deal? We just lose traction, right? You ever been engaged with a buyer, you're engaged with a seller, things are moving along, then all of a sudden we just seem to lose traction, we just lose forward momentum, we just lose motion towards commitment, right? The whole goal here, Jessica Calderon and Sandy, is to help you get unstuck in the deal. Does that make sense? Like, we're just stuck. I can't get them to move forward. Well, we have to figure out how to connect the next step to their goal, right? That's the whole idea. So the first thing I want to do is we want to confirm. What does that mean when we confirm? It means that we are confirming their fear, their goal, their concern. We're checking for understanding. And at the end of the confirmation, we must do what? Ask for. Is that right? Am I hearing you right? Do I? Yeah. Ask for that understanding. Are we in alignment here? Why do we do that? Well, we make sure that we're not leading them down a different path. Right? We want to make sure we're on the same page. We want to make sure we're in partnership. We don't want to seem pushy. We don't want to seem pressure-filled. We want to move them naturally to the next goal. Clarify is the question where we do what? What does the clarify say we need to do?
Helps them define the conditions where what moving forward safe and confident.
Yeah, it helps them define the conditions where moving forward feels safe and confident. This is what happens when you type at 4:15, 4:20 in the morning, right? So that's what we call their decision criteria, right? What is the thing that we have to address so you'll make the decision? That's what you're asking them. Hey, I hear you. I hear your concern. Do I hear it right? Yes, perfect. What would have to change for you to be able to comfortably make this decision? That's what you're asking. Like, and we're going to go through some examples in a second where you're going to have to confirm and then clarify, and then you're going to have to connect to the next step, right? And then the third thing we do is we connect. We reference their clarify answer. What is it that would help you make the next decision? And then our next conversation is the next step would logically be, right? So the first thing is, hey, I hear you, Riley. You're concerned about overpaying. You just want to make sure in a year from now you don't regret this financial decision. Am I hearing you correctly?
That is correct.
Okay, perfect. What would you have to realize 12 months from now to let you know you made the right choice?
A backyard.
Okay, so if you were able to have the backyard and it was fenced in, I don't really see how that connects to the financial concern, but...
I need my mortgage to be under $2,800.
Okay, so what I'm hearing you say is that if 12 months from now you're sitting in this home and your mortgage is under $2,800, you'd feel more comfortable exploring this option, correct?
100%.
Given that, the next thing is connect. And the introduction is giving that, or based on that, or considering that, right? And then we connect it to the next step. Hey, based on the fact that you want your mortgage to stay under $2,800, would it make sense for me to connect you with my lender and look at what this entire financial picture looks like around this property? Yes or no? If they're talking to a lender about the property, are they closer to making a decision?
Yeah.
Is talking to the lender the logical next step?
Yeah.
Okay, let's replay that scenario. Hey Riley, so what I'm hearing you say is you don't want to be overextended on this. You don't want to be overextended on this mortgage, and you don't want your payment to be over $2,800, right?
Yeah.
Well, you need to talk to my lender. You need to talk to
No.
my lender. That's the next thing you need to do. You need to talk to my lender, and he can explain the process to you. When can you talk to him?
I need to think about it.
Oh, whoa, whoa! I need to do what?
I need to think about it.
I need to think about it. Why do I need to think about it?
Lenders are scary.
Because you've just scared the crap out of me. And I didn't tell you that the next step would, I didn't tell you I'm comfortable with that next step. You didn't set me up the right way. It wasn't teed up the right way. You guys understand what I'm saying? It wasn't, I didn't tee it up. How do I get rid of that? Okay, I didn't tee it up the right way. So, we have to confirm their goal. It proves that we're understanding before we give influence. I didn't ask for your opinion. You don't understand my situation. Why are you giving me your opinion? Does that make sense? You don't understand what I'm trying to do. I'm not interested in your opinion. I need to think about it. I'll find somebody else to talk to. That's what happens, guys. So it proves that we're understanding before we give influence. It removes misalignment early. It makes sure that we're on the same page so that you're not trying to solve for B, but their big concern is C. Do you follow what I'm saying? You're trying to solve this issue, which isn't really the most pressing issue in the deal, right? And it lowers emotional resistance. What we do is we restate their fear, objection, or goal, and then we say, is that right? Did I hear you right? Next thing, we clarify. We ask the question around this goal or this fear, starts with what or how, doesn't include market data, doesn't include your opinion, right? It's an example of what would need to be true for blank. Or how will you know blank? Hey, I want to price my home high on the market. I want to test the market. Hey, that's fair. I talk to a lot of sellers that like to do that. Hey, Sandy, just out of curiosity, how will we know that we're really out of alignment with the market pricing?
When we do a CMA.
Okay, as a seller, how would you know, though, from your seat, how would you know that we may be a little bit overpriced and we're not
Oh,
seeing
if it takes too long to sell.
If it takes too long to sell, if we're not getting the activity, if we're not getting the showings, if I'm not getting immediate offers, if in the first 3 weeks I don't have an offer in hand, right? Connect their fear, their objection to the logical next step. Hey, given that you're concerned about not getting activity, would it make sense for us to look at different pricing strategies that would create demand, right? Not just overpricing the home, but a strategy, because an overprice of the home is a risk. We know that. We tell them that doesn't mean we're right. I mean, we may be right, but we're not winning that conversation. You follow what I'm saying? It's all about how you present. Okay, so here's what I got for you. Where's my computer? Here's what I got for you. I've got 5 common buyer objections or goals and 5 common seller objections or goals. Right? Take out a piece of paper. Number 1. We want to think about it. We want to think about it. We want to think about it. We really just want to think about it. I gave you a way I would confirm it. So what you're saying is you want to feel confident in the home, in your choice, before you're willing to move forward. Is that right?
Yes.
You need to think about it. You really need to feel confident in the right home. Now, if they say yes, what would my next step be? Yeah, I need to feel confident.
Well, what would make you feel confident in making that next step?
Perfect question, Cass. That is the exact way to connect it. Hey, we need to think about it. You clarify what they've said. So what I'm hearing you say is you really want to feel confident in your selection before you make an offer. Is that right? They confirm. Then the next question is, what would it take to make you feel confident to make an offer on the next home? What is it that we're looking for? Given that you're looking for certain things, would it make sense for us to define what you're really looking for that would make you want to make an offer? Right?
Yeah.
That's how we connect it to the next steps. Number 2. We're afraid of overpaying. We're afraid of overpaying on the home. You know, we don't pay too much. We don't want the price to be high. We're afraid of overpaying.
Right. They all want equity in their home already.
So how do you confirm that? How can you confirm that? We're just afraid of overpaying.
So what I'm hearing you say is that you don't want to be stuck in a financial situation where later down the road you don't feel like your equity is being protected. Is that right?
That is correct. I want to feel like later on I made a good financial decision. So what's my question? How do I connect it? I've clarified it. I know what the concern is. I don't want to overpay. Jess says, so what I'm hearing you say is that you don't want to feel regret later about the price you paid on the home, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is correct, yes. I want to make sure I have equity in the property. So what's the next step? How do I connect that to the next step?
I don't know.
Given that, knowing what your future equity looks like is important, would it make sense for us to run the numbers together and show you what that potential could be?
Yes, that's not bad at all, Cass. That's very good. Hey, knowing what normal appreciation is, would it make sense for us to sit down and run out the chart and look at where you could be projected, right, value-wise, based on what you'll owe on the home at that point? Would that make you feel more comfortable? What's another way you could connect it? That's a great way to do it, Cass. What's another way? Hey, we don't want to overpay on the home. Jess says, so what I'm hearing you say is later on you don't want to have financial regret around this decision. Is that right? That's correct. How can we connect it to the next step, Sandy?
Well, if they haven't spoken to a lender yet, we can see what your interest rate will come to, and that can save you a lot of money.
So frame it the right way. You are correct in your thinking. Now frame it the right way, because it has to be a question. Because remember, buyers and sellers want to hear whose logic, yours or their own.
Theirs.
They want to hear their own logic, right?
Okay.
So how do I present that? They haven't talked to a lender yet.
Okay.
Great caveat, Sandy. Go ahead.
Well, would you like to talk to a lender and
No.
Okay, no.
Yeah, don't ask the question like no.
Okay.
Like, start with like, considering that or given that, would
Okay.
it make sense to? Would it be helpful to?
Okay.
Would it make you feel more comfortable if, right? Because it's very hard to say no to that. Like, given that, would it make you feel more comfortable if I could do what, Sandy?
Speak to a lender
Uh-huh.
and see what your interest rates can be.
Yeah, hey, given that you're really concerned about feeling regret later on in the purchase, and listen, I totally get it, normalize it. If I were buying a home, I'd feel the same way. Empathize with it. It's what we hear often from buyers. Make it just like the normal thing. Would it be helpful if I connected you with our partner lender and he could show you what the full financial picture looks like long-term in this home?
Brad has a question.
Brad, go ahead. Brad, can I hear you?
Brad, at the.
I can't hear you, Brad, for some reason.
Is it too early to start joking?
All right. Brad, we'll come back to you in just a minute. Yeah, so we want to say, would it be good for me to connect you with a lender so he can give you a full financial picture of what this looks like? Because then, think about Stefan's opportunity to tell his story. What's some of the most compelling stories Stefan shared with us financially around clients lately?
Getting down rates to 4.25.
Getting down rates to 4.25. Whose story is that to tell?
That is Stefan.
That's Stefan's story to tell. You can tee it up, but that's his story to tell. What else?
Helping somebody's monthly burn.
Hell, that was what I was looking for. Cass is on fire this morning. The monthly burn rate, right?
Yeah.
Because it's the total financial picture. Hey, Jess, I totally get your concern about feeling from financial regret here in a few months. Given that, would it be helpful for me to connect you with Stefan, who can show you what it would like, the total financial picture around owning this home? Would that make sense? Would it be helpful, right? Next question. Taylor, do you have something?
No, that was Brad trying to join.
Perfect. Next question. We're not in a rush. Y'all ever heard that? I'm not in a hurry.
Jesus, Mary, and Joseph.
I'm not in a hurry. Now, in the first one, we're trying to combat indecisiveness and find out what really moves the needle. In the second one, we're trying to overcome a fear. In the third example, we're trying to create what?
Urgency.
Thank you. We're trying to create urgency. Like, we're not in a rush. Hey, Jess, I appreciate you showing these homes. We're really not in a rush. Have you heard that before? Okay. So let's clarify that. If they say I'm really not in a rush, what does that mean?
That they're fine waiting.
They're fine rating, okay.
They probably own their home.
Yeah, and they're fine with their rate.
They're fine in the position they're in. What's going to move them?
The right homes.
The perfect house.
Yeah.
Right now, I actually put in there the perfect house, and then I took the word perfect out. And because I don't want to set the
Unrealistic.
yes,
Yeah.
unrealistic expectations, right? So I hear them say we're not in a rush, Jess. What does it say up there? What does it say there? We're not in a rush.
What I'm hearing is finding the right home is more important than timing, correct?
So what I'm hearing from you is that really it's about finding the right home. Time frame is really not a pain point here. We're not under a calendar pressure. It's really about finding the right home. Am I hearing you correctly? Great job. So how can I connect that to the next step? What would be the question that would connect that to the next action? We're looking for the right home. We're not going to do anything until we find the perfect home or the right home.
Well, the question would be is if they've done all their prep prior to that, because you don't wanna, I'm just saying to you, you don't wanna find the right home and then you have to go and find out if you can get a loan and how much money you gotta put down and this and that takes time,
So-
and other people are putting in offers and getting your home.
So you're talking about procedural organization.
Right.
They've done the correct steps. Okay, that's one way to approach it. What's another way that you could approach it? Go ahead, Cass.
I mean, given that finding the right home is more important than the timing of it, what if, would it be helpful if I showed you how our buyer's strategy could help you find that right home in a timely manner? What is it? You know what I'm trying to say?
So here's how I go with it. Now, I'm not going to tell you, this is how I do it. Hey, Jess, I hear you, right? It sounds like finding the right home for you and your family is more important than your calendar a date. Am I hearing you correctly?
Yes.
Hey, given that finding the right home is what really matters, how will you know when we found the right home? How will you know
I know the answer to this.
when we found the right home?
'Cause
How do you know?
you're saying it's a feeling.
Huh?
Oh my God, you'll just feel it.
That's
What
I
is,
know.
what is the thing that you're looking for? What is the one non-negotiable that will make it the right home? What we have here is we don't have like clearly defined criteria here. We're looking for a 3-2, but that's all we know. You know, we don't have clearly defined criteria. In the first one, we have a financial risk, all right, a financial risk. We have indecisiveness, financial risk. We don't have clearly defined criteria. What's the last one I put up there? You ever heard this one? Hey, I think we just want to see a few more homes. I think we just want to see a few more homes, right? How many of you guys have heard that before? Hey, I think we'd like to see a few more homes, Jess, right? I think we'd like to see a few more homes. So making sure that you viewed enough homes for comparison's sake is important. Is that fair enough?
Yeah.
Okay, given that, what's the criteria we're really comparing it to? What's the criteria we're really comparing it to? What are we really looking for here? Again, we're always trying to get more decisiveness out of the buyer. Look at the seller over here. I even connected with a couple of different things for you here. We want to list higher and see what happens. So preserving your net is more important than timing, right? I'm hearing you say that preserving your equity is more important than timing. So what's the connection question to the next step?
What would let us know the market isn't responding?
How do we know that the market's not? Hey, given that preserving the net is more important than timing, how would we know the market's not responding? And then you're going to get the action and you'll connect it to the next steps. We're not in a hurry to sell. We don't want to leave money on the table. And then the last one being, we're thinking about waiting to list. Hey, Jess, we're thinking we're just gonna wait to list. Clarify. We think we're just gonna wait to list.
So what I'm hearing is that timing isn't a pressure point for you, is that correct?
No, I mean, we still wanna get it sold at the right time.
Oh, I'm reading the wrong.
No, you're right. No, you're right. I'm testing you on alignment right here,
Okay.
right? So you come at me like I'm hearing that timing's not important. No, we still wanna get it sold in a reasonable period of time.
Okay. Okay, so it matters to you that it's not on the market for too long. You wanna sell it within a reasonable days on market experience, but you wanna wait until a later time. I'm thinking the spring, is that correct?
Yeah, I'm just thinking that the spring would be a better time for us to put it on the market. That's a good way to flush that out, Jess.
Okay.
Because the seller's still concerned about timing. He still wants to get it sold in a reasonable period of time, but he's thinking the spring is a better time to go on market. Now, this is a common thing we hear. How do you connect that to the next steps?
Okay. What would have to change about, given that, what would have to change about this market that we're in right now in January for you to change your mind?
Oh, wow, that's a great question. I'd just like to feel like there's more demand, like there's more interest in the home. Like, are there really people out looking right now?
Oh, absolutely. So here's what I'll give you. The only thing is, I want to bring you all the facts so that you can make an informed decision about your home, because I know how important this is for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing is that we have hit low mortgage interest rates at 6.06,
Mm-hmm.
which means that buyers right now are infiltrating the entire market. We have more mortgage applications right now than we have in the last 6 months. So it's looking really, really great. However, it really is up to you.
So I love the way you gave very good things right there. Like you gave the mortgage application data's up, right? There's not a lot of inventory in the market at your price point. We're seeing the rates drop, which is creating demand, right? But what you did there, and I'm just coaching, is you told, right? You inserted opinion quickly. Here's how you could have expressed that a little bit better without them feeling scolded in school,
Yeah.
right? Would it be helpful if we looked at competition in the marketplace compared to like your home? Like what else is on the market right now compared to your property? And secondly, would it be helpful if we looked at like the influx of mortgage applications recently to see how is that reflective to buyer activity in the market?
Okay.
Would it be helpful if we connected with the lender, talked about what's going on in the mortgage industry, how they're seeing an increase in activity, and also compared to other properties on the market at your price point? Would that be helpful?
It's a question, but you were telling them stuff.
Yeah, because remember, telling's not selling, number
Yeah.
one. And number two, who does the seller believe more, you or them? Yeah, they want to feel led and guided and coached. They don't want to feel informed or schooled. Like, it's okay for you to be right. It's okay for you to know the information, but the way you translate and transfer that knowledge is so important, right? Because that becomes a little adversarial. It can become a little adversarial, right? So let's do it again. Let's do another one. Riley, we're not really in a hurry to sell.
Yeah, I hear you, Shane. And so what I'm understanding is that timing isn't an issue for you at the moment.
No, we're really not really. I mean, I'm not in a hurry to sell. I just want to make sure I get on the market at the right time.
I got you. Yeah, and I just want.
So what's the next step?
Given that,
Okay, given that, would it be helpful if?
you don't really want to sell right now, would it be helpful if I showed you that buyers are actively looking and purchasing in today's market, and you would be able to get out of your home quicker?
Okay, let's rephrase that and put the fries in the
Yeah.
bag a little bit quicker.
Okay. So what I'm
What are we
hearing,
talking about here? What is
Yeah.
it? The cost of what?
time.
The cost of
Yeah.
delay, right?
Yeah.
The cost of delay, right? Not putting on the market in the moment. What is the cost of delay? So frame that up for me.
So what I'm hearing is timing isn't an issue for you, correct?
Yeah, it's not as big of an issue as I just want to make sure I get the most from my property.
Got you. And so also what I'm hearing is that you're trying to net the most out of your property at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, given that, the market is always changing, we're actually seeing a lot more buyers.
Don't tell them.
Oh, that's right. I'm not supposed to tell them.
Hey, given that we're seeing some fluctuation in the market,
Mhm.
would it be helpful if we looked at how buyers are behaving at certain price points right now? Would it be helpful if we looked at the demand around your particular property with what you have in terms of amenities and things that go along with it compared to what's out there on the market? Because remember, you're not competing against the 6-month-old listing, you're competing against the freshest listing. Hey guys, I'm not going to say that this is always going to make you the win, right? It's not always going to make you the win, but if you can learn to confirm their fear, clarify the objection, and connect it logically to the next step without telling them what to do, but educating them and bringing out from their logic, it's going to be more successful. I want to share a success story from yesterday with Riley. Riley called an expired listing yesterday. Riley, we have 5 minutes to go through this call from yesterday. I want you to coach us up
Yeah.
on what you did yesterday in that call, what you heard.
So it was a 2-part call. I actually called the day before. The lady was super busy. She told me to call her back yesterday morning at 9:30. And she basically, the first call was saying that the agent didn't really do much. They weren't as helpful, and she expressed her problems. But then she got off the phone really quickly. So I did have time to prepare.
That's okay.
And yesterday I called her back. It was very quick, as Jess knows. She was just like, I don't need to sell. I'm not in dire need to sell.
Well, have we seen that up here right now? Yeah, I don't really need to sell. I'm not in a hurry. Go ahead.
And so I said, so what I'm hearing is, you don't really need to sell. You're not desperate to sell, but you're just wanting to net as much out of the home as you can. Is that correct? She said, yes. And I said, I don't know if it would be helpful, but we could send an agent over there and show you how we can net as much out of the home something along the lines, my brain's not working this morning for
That's
some reason,
okay.
but, basically just said, yeah, like, we could show you a strategy that will net the max you can out of your home, you know, is that.
Regardless of time or market.
Yeah, regardless of time, you know, is that a conversation you're completely opposed to having with no commitment or obligation?
Yeah, so we've been working hard scripting with Riley around, hey, is this a conversation you're opposed to having, totally opposed to having, especially if there's no commitment or financial obligation involved? Because what are the people afraid of the most out there? Fear of commitment and fear of financial obligation, right? So he's removing that fear. He's saying, I don't know if it'd be helpful if. He's having her phrase what her real goal is. Her real goal is to net the most from the sale of the home regardless of market. Riley confirmed what he heard. So what I'm hearing you say is, you're not concerned about timing. You want to get the most out of the property once it hits the market. Is that correct? She says yes. So now I have confirmation of her goal. Okay? So that's what so let's connect it to the next step. I don't know if it'd be helpful, but is the great Phil Jones intro. Like, I don't know if it'd be helpful, but, because what that triggers to the hearer is whatever was in front of that but, is that but signals something important's coming, right? I don't know if it'd be helpful, but I could send an agent over to go through our strategy and show you how we can net the most regardless of market conditions. And then the last thing he did that was great was he framed the no as the yes, because people want to say no. Is that a conversation you'd be totally opposed to having at this point, right? And she easily said no. Jess, when you showed up for the appointment yesterday that Riley teed up for you so well, how did the appointment go?
It was hot and heavy. I mean, we walked in and immediately she's like, this is what I've done, this is what I've done. Like, she's just showing me, not even slowing down for a second for me to ask any questions. And then she's like, so how much do you think it's worth? Immediately. So at that point, I know we're dealing with a high D, and I'm like, okay, so here's the game plan, here's how we would market it. Depending on when you want to sell it, I'm either going to give you $325 for the price for right now, or $350 if you want to hold off. But I can't promise that market's going to look the way that we predict it's going to look.
Right.
How? Here's X, Y, Z. Here's our marketing plan. We had 125 marketing steps. We've already started on that for you if you want to proceed. Okay, perfect. Let's go ahead. Do you want a coming soon period? That was the big holdup.
Yeah.
The coming soon.
And so that was part of our strategy, right? So you went in because he said, would it be helpful if I sent an agent over to go over our strategy, how we can create demand in any market? And then what she did was she went in and said, okay, I know Riley told you about the strategy, how we can create demand, because I know that netting the most on the home is your biggest concern. We're not really under a time pressure here. Here's how we can do it. We can go to market at this price, straight to market, or we can employ this strategy where we go coming soon with hold offers and showings and all that till after the open house and create demand. Which would you prefer? Ultimately, it's your choice. I'll work for you. And she says, choice A or choice B. It's not choice yes or choice no. Do you follow? Because if it's choice yes or choice no, where are they going to typically go?
Yeah.
To the no. But if it's choice A or choice B, what are they going to choose? They'll either choose one of those or they'll give you a third choice of their own choosing, right? But that's exactly how the confirmation, clarify, and connect does. That's exactly what you want to do. You get them to state their goal, you clarify it, you get that confirmation that you're looking for, and then you tell them what the next step is. Given that, would it be helpful if, hey, considering you're trying to focus on this, would it be helpful if I did this? And when they say yes, you've already got them to agree to the next step in the deal, right?
Yeah, and after we went all of that, basically we ended at, okay, you think about the coming soon period, I'll get paperwork ready and on your table by tomorrow morning, and then at that point, give me a call and let me know if you want me to add it.
There we go. So, and that's how it works, right? That's all that this is. It's to make sure we don't get stuck in the deal and we're not having these conversations like, Shannon, I don't know, they just keep looking at houses. Like, they just keep looking at houses, right? Because we've all been in that trap. Like, all of you guys have shown houses repeatedly that, and you couldn't land them on the property. It's because we never really clarified what the decision criteria was. What are we even looking for? I've gone to the tower and said, I can't get this person to make a decision to save my life. And it's because I was skipping that step, because I couldn't land them on the right thing, right? So this is the whole process. So we will continue to script around this, and we're going to move forward with decision framework next, and then we're going to talk about commitment action finally, right? That's the whole step in the consultative process. Get the micro commitment, honor the commitment, build on that commitment, set up that decision framework, get the final yes. And that's what we're working towards on that, okay? All right, any questions on that, guys? Okay, perfect. Let's get on this 9 o'clock sales call.